My grandfather's scream cut through the night, and I swear I'll never forget the sound. Not pain, pure, undiluted rage. That's what you get when you shove an 82-year-old war vet over a bogus $500 fine. And those weren't just any random crooks. They wore matching Sterling Management HOA enforcement vests, carrying themselves like real authority. But who put them up to it? Why our family? And how far would they go before realizing they'd chosen the wrong house? This is how fake HOA officers nearly wrecked our lives, and what they got in return. It all started on an October evening, about 7. I was hunched over my computer, debugging lines of code and drinking cheap coffee, when I heard voices rising out front. Looked through the window, and there they were, 2 guys in navy vests, talking to Grandpa Joe. These weren't your average door-to-door scammers. One stood tall, ex-security vibe, squared shoulders, dead eyes, probably did time working casino floors. The other, built like a bouncer, kept shifting his weight, glancing at his phone like he was waiting for a text to bolt. They had the official clipboard, the professional posture. Even the logo looked right. But Joe? He'd seen more action than those 2 could ever imagine. We never voted for any HOA here. 30 years I've lived in this house. No fancy-dressed punk's gonna tell me what to do. He shot back, voice loud enough for the neighbors to hear. That stubborn Irish temper had gotten him through a war and a lifetime of hard work. The guy still did his own taxes and, honestly, beat me at chess more nights than I care to admit. The taller one, Derek, kept it cool, almost too cool. Sir, this is a $500 violation for unauthorized driveway repairs. Payable immediately, or we escalate to legal proceedings. He held up the clipboard, fake paperwork and all. His partner, Troy, just loomed in the background, nervous energy crackling off him. But Joe, old as he was, could smell a rat from a mile away. I'm calling the cops, he said, stepping toward the door. That's when Derek lunged. Not a hard push, just enough to send an old man off balance, tumbling down the porch steps. I heard the crack, ribs for sure. In seconds, Troy launched into damage control. Oh no, he tripped. Sir, are you okay? And Derek, kneeling like a concerned neighbor, calling 911 with the most practiced worried look you've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, they'd rehearsed the whole routine. By the time I got out there, Joe was wheezing, pale as a ghost, pain etched across his face. Cops showed up. Paramedics came. And the bastards, cool as cucumbers, stuck to their story. He just lost his balance when I handed him the paperwork. No witnesses, no video, nothing but my word. The officer filed it as a civil dispute gone wrong, took down their official paperwork, and let them walk. Case under investigation. Yeah, right. Becky, my girlfriend, got home from her late shift and lost it. Why didn't they arrest them? She kept asking, pacing the living room. But I already knew. These guys were pros. They'd played the system, made it look accidental, left us with the bill. And man, that bill was brutal. ER, X-rays, 2 days in the hospital. Insurance balked, called it an accident during a potential crime. We were staring down $11,000 overnight. I took unpaid leave to care for Joe, started skipping meals to stretch the grocery budget. You want to hear about family? I called my cousin Mike, ex-Marine, president of the Steel Ravens Motorcycle Club. Police won't help, I told him, and those guys are coming back. He didn't hesitate. Family protects family. We ride tonight. Within an hour, 15 bikers were posted up around our house. Tank Johnson, all 6 feet 4 inches and 300 pounds, parked his bike in the driveway like he was settling in for a siege. The only real clue I had was the Sterling Management paperwork. Looked legit, even had a real downtown office address. But when I called, I got a generic voicemail. Drove to the address the next morning, and it was a dentist's office. The whole thing stank, but their paperwork was so perfect, I almost doubted myself. Funny thing, the neighbors noticed. Some were spooked by the bikers, but most rallied. Mrs. Henderson brought over a casserole and mentioned she'd been getting weird official-looking mail too. I started poking around online and, after hours of digging, realized Sterling Management Group had only existed for 18 months, exactly when these violations started hitting our area. Then came the twist I never saw coming. Their Contact Us page. The office address was the same building where Becky worked. Did she know something I didn't? My head was spinning. And then, just when I thought things couldn't get crazier, the doorbell rang. Megan Garcia. Never seen her before. stood on our porch, holding homemade soup and a folder. "I heard what happened to your grandfather," she said, "and I think I can help." She looked every bit the professional, mid-40s, neat hair, wire-rimmed glasses, calm presence. "I'm a paralegal. I looked up the law last night. What those men did is illegal." She laid out articles, legal letters, and a business card for her lawyer friend, offered to help for free. Becky was floored. "Finally, someone who knows what they're doing," she said. Megan explained how to dispute violations, file complaints, and even organized a neighborhood meeting. She'd lost her dad to con men, said she understood. When she visited Joe at the hospital, brought him soup, covered his prescription when insurance balked, I almost broke down from relief. After days of feeling powerless, suddenly we had hope. But you know what? Hope's a dangerous thing. Derek and Troy showed up again, doubling the fake fine to $1,000. But now Megan was ready. Calm, polite, absolutely brutal with the law. She shredded their scam in front of half the block. "What you're doing is criminal fraud," she told them, citing statutes. Tank stood up behind her, and for the first time, I saw Derek and Troy flinch. They bailed fast. We thought it was over. Megan organized the paperwork, walked us through complaints, and set up the neighborhood meeting. 25 people crowded into our living room. Turns out, most had gotten threatening mail, a few even paid. Ellen Hayes, retired teacher, admitted she'd gotten a call about legal action but didn't pay. Megan promised to help everyone. Here's where things get weird. Next morning, I found Ellen crying in her backyard. She confessed she had paid $800, pressured by a woman's voice she now thought was Megan's. "It was her," Ellen whispered. The same little laugh, the same words. I wanted to deny it, but doubt crept in. Could Megan be playing both sides? That night, I dug deep. Sterling Management, Sterling Property Services, Sterling Legal Solutions, all different companies, all started the same month, all sharing a bank routing number, all matching Megan's move-in timeline. Then I found her rental app online. She'd moved to the neighborhood right when the first fake violations hit. That's when the bottom dropped out. I hacked their website. What I found made my blood run cold. Files on every house, notes about daily routines, financial estimates, who lived alone, who seemed vulnerable. Photos of Joe's walks, Becky's shifts, my own work hours. Every move we'd made, documented. And the command emails? All from M. Garcia. Turns out, Megan was the mastermind. Derek and Troy, just pawns, muscle on her payroll, following orders. One email showed Derek complaining about the old man getting hurt, and Megan's reply? "Stick to the plan. Emotional reactions are for amateurs." The woman who brought us soup was the one who'd orchestrated the attack. When I confronted Derek, he finally cracked. Brought me a USB drive with recordings of Megan ordering the hits, banking details, even laughing about Joe's injury. "She destroyed my life," he said, "and now she's threatening me." His betrayal wasn't about conscience. It was survival. The final straw? A text from an unknown number. "Saw you at my storage unit, Josh. Your grandfather's medical bills are about to get more expensive." I knew then. We were dealing with someone who'd do anything to win. The showdown hit hard. Megan showed up with a sheriff's deputy, trying to serve foreclosure papers based on her bogus lien. The bikers rolled in, 40 deep, chrome shining, engines shaking the ground. The deputy's radio buzzed with updates. Armed bikers at the Patterson residence. Megan's confidence evaporated as Derek strode up, envelope in hand. "Everything she says is a lie. Here's the proof." Mrs. Henderson stepped forward with phone recordings matching Megan's voice to the scam calls. Ellen played back, threatening voicemails. The whole block watched as Megan's mask crumbled. Media swarmed, bikers got painted as heroes, and the FBI, who'd already been tracking interstate elder fraud, swooped in. Turns out, Megan Garcia was actually Margaret Sterling, wanted across 6 states for running a network of fake HOA scams. Her playbook was simple: create a crisis, offer to help, then rob you blind. Federal court moved fast. My digital forensics, Derek's evidence, Ellen's voice matches, and Troy's testimony. He turned up, too. She'd threatened his disabled mom's benefits, buried Megan. Even with her legal tricks, she couldn't escape. Judge threw out every bogus lien, froze all assets, and sentenced her to 15 years with no parole. 71% of stolen money was recovered and returned. Our house, Joe's health, The neighborhood, all saved, but not unchanged. Joe became a local celebrity, giving talks at senior centers about resisting scams. I didn't survive Normandy to get bullied out of my house by a con artist. Becky and I tried to pick up the pieces, but the trust never fully returned. Some neighbors moved away, too shaken by what had happened. Others became closer than ever. The Steel Ravens set up a permanent elder watch, patrolling a dozen neighborhoods. Monthly meetings kept everyone sharp. And Margaret? She died in prison 8 years in. Poetic, maybe, but no amount of punishment undid the harm. Her final threat about Joe's medication haunted me. 2 years after her conviction, he landed in the ER after taking recalled pills, and I realized, even defeated, some enemies cast long shadows. So, here's my question for you. Have you ever trusted someone, only to find out they were the enemy all along? Drop your story in the comments. Was our response justice or revenge? Where's the line in a world where the helpers were the same face as the predators? I want to hear your take, because these days, you never know who's really watching.